It's Christian from the Calcio Bros, and I'm here doing another video discussing transfer activity as well as the World Cup, and I'm joined again by my buddy Andreas. Good to have you back for another discussion here.
Thanks for having me again, Christian. Can't wait to get into these topics, especially the World Cup. It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, an exciting one so far, and we do have some details of the Serie A players there. But we're going to go off with some of the recent transfer activity that's been going on. And I would say the biggest has been Inter snooping Nainggolan, 24 million plus Santon and Zaniolo, who is a youth player from the Primavera. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think Inter took a very good deal. On his day, Nainggolan is a world-class player. I think the only reason he didn't make the Belgium team is because he had problems with the coach, because his quality is clearly shown. He was a big part of Roma's push for the Champions League final. And the only thing is, he's not getting any younger, but I still think, like, for his position and the way he plays it, it's a really good signing.
And I think,
okay, like, he's nothing special, and who knows if this youngster is going to get better. But the good thing for Roma is that at least they've replenished their squad with some talent.
And, like, I feel, too, with Spalletti being in charge of Inter, he's the one that brought the best out of Nainggolan when he was at Roma. So, I know, again, like you said, he's not getting any younger. And he's 30, 31 at this point. But can Spalletti get another 2-3 good years out of him?
It could be, like, for instance, when we snagged RVP, I know he's not a goal scorer, but, like, we basically snagged Arsenal's best player. It's like a huge, like, what's it called? Psychological boost. Especially when you're stealing it from a rival, like, especially because Roma and Inter we're not that far off from each other.
And that's a huge thing. I just can't believe, like, they sold him to a rival for that low. Because Santon...
Chelsea used to want him, like PSG would go for him, and I thought they would have sold abroad, or maybe even in China.
Honestly, and to me, it's like 24 mil plus those two players, like, he's not worth that. Like, Santon's not worth that much. Zaniolo, they say he's worth 20 mil, but he hasn't really proven himself. In reality, he's not that expensive at all. So that,
all we
to
have
me,
to
is
do
just
is
a steal.
remember that Freddie and Du was the next Pele. So whenever any young kid's hyped up, until they prove themselves, we can't keep doing it. It's just not fair to the kid, and it's not fair to us, because he's not producing the expectations, because people are putting him on a pedestal he's not at yet. That's what happens with all these youngsters. They get hyped up all the time. The next Kaká, the next Ronaldo, the next Messi, man, when they're not even close to the same player. They just use labels all the time. Just let the kid grow and play. Clearly, Monkey, he's not a stupid guy, so he knows what he's doing, and he wouldn't take that player if he wasn't, like, a promising youngster. And Santon, though, like, Santon has always been, like, average. Like, he'll be a good squad player, but I don't think he's going to give Roma anything, like, any more quality than they already have.
And we'll stick on these two teams because both of them have been very active. It's been official now with De Vrij and Asamoah joining on free transfers to Inter. They snagged.
That's a massive signing. De Vrij, him and Skriniar, probably the best partnership behind Bonucci and Romagnoli, like those two. And then the Chiellini and Barzagli, like they're both the top three right now in Serie A.
And then they've just got Politano on a loan with an option to buy, another great signing. So Inter are now really trying to get competitive. They want to actually go for the Scudetto this time, not just qualify for Champions League. They are building a team.
And the best part about it is they're both proven and played in the Serie A their whole careers mostly. So they know it inside out. They won't take long to settle in.
And then we'll go on to Roma.
What do you think about the Bonucci rumor that you would accept 45? You think it's true?
I don't think it's true because I know he wants to help Milan get back. Like, he wants Milan to get back to where they are. The European.
Plus, I remember he also, like, stayed in Italy because of his, like, son, right?
That's the thing too. When he was,
I saw him linked with United. As a United fan, I'm obviously excited. He's a really good defender, but I wouldn't hold my breath. So I'll just ask you to see what your thoughts.
Yeah, and considering that he left Juve to stay in Italy, what makes him, like, what's gonna make him, like, leave Milan to go abroad? You know, and he's specifically stayed in Italy just for his family. So to me, that's what it is.
I also see him going to Chelsea if they can finally land Saudi.
Mm-hmm. Saudi would be a good.
Like some like a swap deal with like Higuain and Morata and money or something like that. I don't think they want Morata back. And Chelsea probably want to cash in on him because he didn't have the greatest year in England.
Yeah, so there's a lot of rumors. We'll see, considering now that, well, he didn't play much at the World Cup, so his value didn't skyrocket. But Juve are still going to want to demand a hefty penny for him, so let's see what comes out of it.
Before we stop talking about transfers, did Italy shorten their transfer window as well, or is it only England?
Yeah, so it'll end right before the Serie A season, so that's, I believe, August 15th or 17th, something like that.
Yeah, England, I don't like that idea. Because what if one of your major players gets a bad injury? Or what if teams like from China and Russia, whose windows are still open, come and pay double the wages and the guy leaves? You can't replace them.
I know, it's very...
I think it stops, like, at least it gives you go into the season with full focus.
Yeah,
but it's also like a hindrance because, like, injuries happen in the sport. And you have no way of replacing your player if the window closes halfway through.
Yeah.
And it's not even before the season starts. You haven't played one game.
Mm-hmm. We'll end off with this transfer. I want to go to Roma because they've been spending big as well. Again, they got rid of Nainggolan and Skorupski. Skorupski going to Bologna, becoming the new one in a swap deal with Mirante. So Mirante is going to be the backup with some experience behind Alisson. If he does stay, who knows? It's still early there. They signed Pastore, Bianda. They got the two players in the Nainggolan deal, Kluivert, Marcano, Koric, Cristante. They're just basically like doing a whole new team, pretty much, I would say. What are your thoughts on that?
You can see that he's building for the long term. Like, he knows that they can probably sustain top four and like play Champions League footy, but they're trying to get a squad that can do what Juve did with 7 on the trot. Like, they want a young core that they can build on. Because Juve's squad, they haven't really changed much for like 2-3 acquisitions, and usually they're free transfers.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see if they keep
also,
on spending.
one more signing is, which really caught me off guard. I can't believe Lafont only went for $8.5 million. That's brilliant business by Fiorentina.
Fiorentina, like, now they have 2 young keepers.
And Dragowski.
Exactly, that's just what I was about to say. Dragowski and Lafont. Sportiello, I believe, was leaving to go to Frosinone, so they lost their keeper there. But still, with 2 young keepers with a lot of potential,
they can also make a couple signings and hold on to Chiesa. They'll be excited for their future.
Yeah,
but Chiesa looks like he probably would leave. I think he's too good for them.
That's true. Well, Fiorentina have been a decent side. They're not like known to. They're more like a team getting into like Europa League. They're not much of a Champions League side, but who knows, right? Like, sometimes we'll see the most unexpected teams go in the Champions League. So who knows what else they can do.
Do you think Milan can actually get Immobile?
Instead, he wants to join. He wants to join whether or not they go to Europe or not.
He's a Milan fan. He's probably him and Icardi are the top 2 right now in Italy.
And considering we can offer more wages than Lazio, but it's also the price fee. For a 29, 30-year-old, would you offer 60 mil? That's the price Lotito wants. But who knows if Milan can work out a deal? It is possible.
I don't blame Lazio. They want to keep their squad. They have the Milinkovic, they have Immobile, but if people want to pay the price, if not, then the players have not stated they're unhappy. So he has all the power, and I don't blame the guy for trying to milk every penny. Just like every other club does.
But now also to end off with the transfer window, like the World Cup is coming to close. More teams are getting eliminated each day. Can we expect more transfer activity to happen after? When most are
I can
right
see
now.
Lucas Torreira, like he's so real. Like right now, he's focused on Uruguay, but he's been linked with Arsenal heavy. I can see it deals like that coming right when if Uruguay get knocked out next round, or when the World Cup finishes. I see all these deals getting completed. Because I know the national team coaches, they either tell them get your future sorted before, or don't. Because I only want 100% focus on the national.
Exactly. And yeah, you don't want to be distracted in one of the biggest competitions in the world, and that's for sure. So I think he has the deal set, but it'll probably get everything done after either Uruguay are eliminated, or if they win, it's going to happen after the tournament for sure.
You obviously can't control the media. They are the most clickbait people. That's how they make their living.
Yeah, exactly.
But as
So,
long as the players stay focused, I don't see a problem with them.
mhm.
As long as you're leading, like they can probably give their representatives all the teams they want. Let them talk to them while they're focused on the World Cup. And then by the time the World Cup's done, they can go through their like medicals and stuff, sign
And
the
then
contract, and then
there's
enjoy it out for preseason.
so that's it, guys, for the transfer activity. We're just going to go into a small section here. The promoted teams, Frosinone became officially the third team going up, and there's actually some controversy in that game.
They beat Body, right?
No, they beat Palermo, but there's a lot of controversy because of the way it was. Frosinone, they finished in a draw, but Frosinone finished higher in the standings, so they went through.
Instead of playing extra time. Like
Yes, if you finish higher if you finish as a draw and you finish higher in the standings, it's whoever finishes higher goes through.
So what is that, like the playoff final for the
Serie B, but also during the game, like I believe there's a couple sending offs, but the Frosinone players on the bench were throwing balls on the field to stop the Palermo attack.
Oh, so they were doing poor gamesmanship.
Yes. So a lot of it was that Palermo was trying to appeal, because of this, and this. They don't deserve, like that sort of stuff, trying to appeal. But all the league did was, it was a failed appeal. They just fined the players that Frosinone were in Serie A. But who knows if Parma will get anything, because there are a lot of controversy still with them, with some of their players talking to Siena players, don't try too hard. So they could either still be sent down or just be deducted points come the new year in Serie A. So who knows?
I don't think they were really were being serious, but it's kind of stupid for them to even joke about that. And, especially with the history of what happened in Italy, you can't be joking about that stuff because they take it serious.
Yeah, considering what we've had to deal with in recent years, so it's still, I don't know if it's still too early or it's done. I don't know if I missed anything, so if you guys heard anything, let us know as well, because that's an interesting topic to see.
What do you guys think is the signing of the summer so far for Serie A and Europe in general? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. So now this is going to be a big topic because Milan have been officially banned from playing in European football next season. It's just a 1-year ban. No fine, but Milan are going to appeal it to the Court of Arbitration. It's the debts that are from 2014 to 2017, so this is still in the Berlusconi era, which again, yes, there was a lot of debt, that is for sure, but I think also because of the lack of uncertainty of ownership, it didn't help Milan's situation in their proposal to UEFA. Do you think...
It just seems like circus all in all.
It's becoming another circus, and because there was negotiations between an American owner of Comiso, I believe he owns the Chicago Cubs, I believe. One of them. I know he owns an American team. But anyways, he was all ready to buy. He was even going to give Young Hong a small percentage. I believe it was maybe 15 to 25% stake. But right before it was being signed, Young Hong said, no, I want a bigger stake. He wanted 30%, this and that. He was trying to hold off negotiations because he wants a bidding war between all the American owners in October, which is just ridiculous. Get the debt settled. Sell the club. Just get everything settled and don't cause it more of a shit show. That's all it is. So this causes problems. But if Milan don't get sold, it doesn't help their case when they bring it to the Court of Arbitration, to appeal the suspension. There goes my little rant. But it is frustrating. What are some of your thoughts on it, Andreas?
I think you guys made some very poor decisions with your money. Like, for instance, Andre Silva was a gamble that hasn't really paid off. I still believe he can come good, but Kalinic was just disaster from the beginning. That's part of the reason why Andre Silva couldn't fulfill himself, is because they kept putting faith in him. Mm-hmm. Who else? Biglia has been okay.
He started off slow.
Bonucci.
Bonucci started. They got better with time after we got
The
the system
thing
in
with
place.
Donnarumma didn't help any cause because he was unfocused. He was like resentful to the fans. The fans were talking shit about him. It's just
It was a mess. It was an
it's good.
absolute
Like I
mess.
like now seeing Inter make it. I want to see Milan back as a neutral.
To me, like, okay, I may be a Milanista, but to me, I want both Inter and Milan in the Champions League because they know how to compete in those competitions because they have been known to win. That's to me, like, I want to see those two. Those are the true teams Italy need in the Champions League.
Like Milan have had some of the most legendary teams of all time, and now to see like what they are now.
It's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
Me as a United fan, I've been going through that for a couple of years now. Like, we've been going through a bunch of bumps, like Moyes, Van Gaal. Now with Mourinho, we have our fan base split. It's annoying. Like, you wanted to see all these clubs go back to normal, like how it used to be. All the big clubs in Europe fighting for the titles.
So, do you think, like, to me, like, this bidding war, it's, like, because that's the main reason. Like, yeah, he wants the higher stake. Like, Comiso's willing to give him a higher stake than he was actually planning to. He just wants to buy Milan. Like, he's ready to put in, pay the Elliott debt, which is the 32 million. Repay any other debt towards the club. He's ready to inject 150 million in the transfer market. Like, he's ready. It's just, I don't know. Like,
these people, they don't care about the fans. They run the club as a business.
I know, that's part just me.
That's the problem, especially nowadays.
He's making the club suffer.
They don't give a flying fuck about me or you. They just want the money for your tickets. They want you to buy their merch. They don't give a shit about our opinions. Yeah. They don't give a shit about how we feel about the club, who we want or not.
By Yang Hong doing this, he's causing problems for the club as well as the fans, and it's just a mess. And you'll hear it from everyone. And
I really don't think you guys I don't think American owners. I don't know. Maybe because ours are garbage. Like the Glazer family, I don't like them. They brought so much debt to our club. But if this guy's willing to do that for you, then this guy.
And considering he's Italian,
then might as well do.
Like, he's Italian himself, so it does help. And an Italian American, the way I believe how Roma's owners are Italian American too, and look how well how they've been doing. So maybe doing that, it would be a great option, right? Having someone who's a foreigner but still Italian at the same time and has the same passion towards Italian football, then it helps, you know? Before we go on to the World Cup, there's just an announcement made earlier, actually, that Torino and the Brazilian club Chapecoense are set to play a friendly on August 1st. Both teams suffered tragedies to their team, so it's a good charity event for both sides, in my opinion. It's really great.
Yeah, and hopefully those players that survived the horrible thing that happened a couple of years ago get to play too. I remember when they played Barca last year.
So it's good that both teams are doing it. Both teams suffered, and
it's
they're coming together.
The fact that they were going to play in a cup final was heartbreaking. They weren't even supposed to be there. They just had their own story.
Yeah, and I know considering this past season, Torino actually wore colors for Chapecoense, so they're doing everything to sort of, because they know they've experienced losing your players in a plane crash, so they're doing well. I feel that they're really trying to help them out, you know. Okay, so World Cup going on right now. So I've pulled up statistics.
This World Cup has been absolutely nuts.
You don't know who's going to
win. Unpredictable. If you're a betting man, I would stay away because you're going to lose your money because all the things that people think are supposed to happen are the opposite is happening. Who would have thought Germany would have finished fourth in that group? Who would have thought
Spain would have been out?
Senegal would have been out on the last day after the first two games. It was just so much drama and it's exciting. So I think it's our past 2014. I wasn't a big fan of that one.
Yeah, that wasn't the best one, but at least this one has really been entertaining for sure. As much as we want to see Italy there, I feel if Italy would have been there, it probably would have been an upset, to be honest. Like the way they have.
I think would have had a good chance, actually.
No. Instead if they didn't have insurance charge for sure.
The 10 times better coach than that idiot.
Yeah. So with all the Serie A players at the World Cup, I've compiled all the statistics. So we've had 107 appearances from Serie A players, 8 goals, 5 assists, 14 yellows, and 1 red and 2 clean sheets. Clean sheets both coming from Alisson, and the red coming from Carlos Sanchez of Fiorentina. What do you think of these?
To be fair to Sanchez, I think I don't think he meant to do it. You know when you have that reaction?
I was gonna say it's the reflex, the reflex of just putting.
He's trying to save the goal. He sees it going in, and he just moves it. And it wasn't really his hand; it was kind of his shoulder arm area.
But it's a goal scoring opportunity. What's the ref gonna do? That's the.
He should have. I feel he shouldn't have done that since it was so early in the game, and giving Colombia a big disadvantage that early.
Yeah.
Playing with 10 men
for the whole game. But
holy shit. 3rd minute, no? You got the red?
3rd, 4th minute, yeah.
Then Kagawa converts the penalty and then it's downhill from there. You have to open up with 10 men, they can just cut you open, and then they did get the equalizer off that fluke goal, but
But what do you think of some of these statistics, 170.
I think from the Serie A players, Perisic did pretty well. Croatia have been good so far.
Yeah. Poland, consider they had a lot of Serie A players, but they underachieved this year for sure. I don't know what went wrong with them.
Even Badali doing pretty good.
Sorry?
Badali from
Badali, yeah.
He's a decent holding midfielder. I remember he was with Milan last year.
Yeah, for a free transfer too. So let's see if we still get him or not.
I don't know. Did Dybala? Does he have nudes of San Pauli? Did he sleep with his wife? I don't know what he did to the guy.
20?
But to have guys like Meza and Acuna starting over Dybala, Higuain, it was just
Dybala.
I feel really bad for Messi, bro.
Andreas,
that's all I feel bad for.
Take this in. Dybala had more goals in Serie A than minutes played at the World Cup.
Bro, it's pathetic, man. He must have done, it's like 9-1. There must be some tension there. There's no way.
Somehow they say Dybala can't play with Messi. I don't get that. He's more talented than half the players that have come on. So
somebody said that Dybala's too similar to Messi. That's a good thing. Anybody similar to Messi should be in your starting lineup 100%.
Exactly. And if you need a win...
And not only that, he'll be another creative outlet. Because Messi, legit, he has Aguero, Higuain, Di Maria up front, and all I see him do is drop deep, try and do everything himself.
And that's the thing. He's everyone's expecting Messi, but if you have someone else that you can rely on to create these chances and help other players open up, it's a shame that he hasn't played as much as he should be playing. And considering the talent, it's unbelievable.
You know what's a shame? Me liking Juventus, them being stingy on Golovin over 5 mil and seeing them now with Chelsea is kind of frustrating.
I know.
I don't get it. Just get money. Before the World Cup, they could have signed him. Done deal. Before all this hype. That's why you always try and get it done. The World Cup is always hype.
And that's the thing. You can't judge a player based on a month worth of competition, right?
For every
it's such a different. There is such a different. It's such a different competition. Even Diego Forlan, he had a great 2010, went to Inter and only had 2 goals. Scored at the beginning and end of the season. You can't judge based on the Yeah, they may already be star players and perform well. Yeah, but then there's always the breakout stars who you buy but don't always play good afterwards when you actually get them. So it's not always the best time to buy. And then one player is going to make it difficult for them to sell, and it's Kalinic. He refused to come on, I believe it was against Nigeria, because he felt he should have started over Mandzukic. Now that makes it difficult.
I don't give a shit what you could have started. It should be an honor to represent your country at the highest level you could possibly play, fighting for the biggest trophy you could ever win in your career. You should be grateful to play 1 minute, let alone getting something.
And
it's not like he blew up Serie A where he had cemented a place in the squad. He didn't do that good. He missed a lot of clear-cut chances.
And now it makes
it part of the reason why Milan didn't finish that high, because He could have won them so many games missing sitters.
And to me, too, it's like now it makes it difficult for Milan to get him because they want to sell him for 25, 30 million. You know, they want to make some money off him, but it's difficult because now teams don't want to pay that much because they see the attitude. Yeah, they say he had like a back problems or whatever. No, it's because there's rumors that he wanted to start, but you can't do that. You just can't.
And look at Rebic. He's been one of their best players. So how can you bench him?
A player who knows how to score to a player who knows how to miss. Like, just tell me that. Just tell me.
I thought he was going to be an amazing player, but because like with Fiorentina, he was a goal machine.
Yeah, but he still missed a lot of opportunities, and his conversion rate was still pretty terrible. But
Nowhere the same player, but it reminds me of like Falcao. There was like expectation when he came to United and Chelsea, and he just didn't live up to it. Some players need to like Falcao seemed like he needs to be the big fish in the small pond.
yeah,
Like he's only thrived. He thrived at Atletico. He was the best player.
is Monty's thriving at Monaco now?
Thrived at. Porto's a good team, but they're not massive. Monaco just really became like great not too long ago with all this young talent they've got. Leon just coming back from being shit for a couple of years. Now they're starting to like develop nice youngsters, and
yeah, it's
I don't know, man.
I know. So we'll see where that happens. So now staying on to the World Cup, and it's going to be the last topic of our discussion. The United bid 2026 World Cup being held here in our home country of Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Canada getting 10 matches. U.S. getting 60 and Mexico getting 10. 80 matches total because it's going to be a 48-team tournament. I'm excited. I actually really can't wait. But I do wish that there would be more games held in Canada, of course, you know? But
I'm just grateful that we're going to be in a World Cup finally.
Finally in our lifetime, pretty much.
I feel like this is our only way to get in since we've never qualified ever. It doesn't seem like we've been close.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to see Canada in the World Cup. And there's really pros and cons for the 48-team tournament. The pros is like for people like me I'm from Cyprus, where I'm Canadian and Cypriot. I've never seen one of my teams ever play a World Cup.
Yeah.
So it gives them a lot of things like that to get into the World Cup. But the cons of that is like you see when Russia played Saudi Arabia or like Panama played Belgium, they just get thumped.
Like,
so it's like,
or you get like again the Panama-Tunisia games, you know, stuff like you get more of those. And to me,
but it is called the World Game, and you see how passionate. And
yes, that's for sure.
I'm happy to be there, so it's like it is pros and cons.
Yeah.
If you want more entertainment, you shorten the teams.
Yeah.
And you have the best teams, but if you just want to have called the World Cup, I think the more teams allowed in.
But you know? And I feel one reason too that they did win the bid is because again, it's more because I have nothing against Morocco, of course, but what brings in the money? Hosting it in North America or in Morocco? Because that's also what it's about too, right?
And you already saw how Qatar got the World Cup. You wouldn't. There are probably people trying to fix it for Morocco too.
But
you never know.
Yeah.
The most corrupt organization on the planet.
I do feel though with the 48 team, like it gives teams easier entrance to the World Cup. Like for the 32, if you're not good enough to already make it in 32, you shouldn't be there. Look at Italy. They couldn't make it past Sweden. Netherlands couldn't make it past Sweden. Nothing against Sweden.
That's what I hate. Like, no offense to Italians or, like, Americans, but, like, you have no goddamn given right to be in the competition, bro.
Exactly.
Just because you have past success doesn't give you a goddamn right to be freaking good. Like,
exactly. If you can't qualify against these smaller teams, like, again, no offense to Sweden. They played well against Netherlands and Italy. But if teams like the bigger nations can't beat those smaller teams, what gives you the right to be in that?
Is it Panama's fault? They beat Trinidad and Tobago and USA didn't?
Like, they just played well. That's all it was. If these teams can't play well, they shouldn't be going into a bigger nation. Like, that to me, that's what it is. It's a bigger entrance to that, but that we shouldn't be having that. If these teams can't be going in, like, they can't be beating these like smaller nations, then what makes you go, like, into the bigger nation. You know, it's good to see these smaller nations go, but you know, it's just to me, it's an easier entrance for some of these teams.
It drops the quality of the tournament. That's
Exactly.
what it does. But it also gives a lot more people opportunity to see their club. So it is. That's what I said earlier. For every pro, there's a con. And for every con, there's a pro.
And it'll get, I guess, too, to see some of these nations who've never been to the World Cup. You saw how excited Peru were to be back. Panama were to finally be.
They celebrated that one goal like it was like the World Cup winning goal. Like it's good to see.
That's the one.
I don't have a problem with 4 teams because that's more football for me to watch, and I love watching it. So
that's true for sure. But just to me, you know, that's just like you want to have the best teams. You don't want to have ones who've just struggled just to get in there. You know, but again, it's hard to say. What are your thoughts?
What they could have probably done is maybe add more spots, like instead of the top 2 in qualifying, like playoffs, maybe add more, like combine less groups and more spots, like how South America does. They just have like a table. Everyone plays everybody. So it's not like, oh wow, England has the shittier qualifying group than Italy. That's unfair.
I think
you
it's
just have
but it's a little tougher.
Obviously, Europe has double the countries, which is why it's hard to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you have maybe 4 tables rather than like 16 groups or something, you know.
And you can put it each by ranking.
Maybe not by ranking. Still mix it up a little bit because you know you still have like teams 1 to 30 and 1. You know what I mean? Like you still have that. The better teams only.
Like how the Champions League does it. 4 different pools you pick from. Mix it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it'll be interesting. We still have a long time till we see the qualifying, or the format. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate how they're going to get these 48 teams in there. So we still have another 8 years, give or take. It'll be interesting.
So I know what's cool.
Yeah.
How look at taking this. There's guaranteed spot in the World Cup final for Russia, Croatia, Denmark, Sweden, Switzerland, Colombia, or England. That's
that's
at the beginning of the tournament.
And to me, like I want to see a team that's never won it. I want to see 2 teams that have never won it go in there. You know, so it's an interesting one. And like, if you guys have any thoughts on the current World Cup or the 2026 World Cup, I know it's 8 years away, but if you guys have any thoughts on it, comment below. Let us know. We want to hear what you guys think of it. If you agree with us or disagree, we want to hear your thoughts. You know.
Okay, so I got a question.
Yeah.
Let's do a prediction. Who do you think is going to be the biggest signing of the summer by the time the transfer window closes?
Oh boy. Ugh. It's hard to say because there's a lot. There is a lot, to be honest, and it's hard to say who's going to go.
For me, I'm going big, saying Milinkovic-Savic to Madrid or United.
I was thinking of Milinkovic, just because, like, you know, now that Serbia's out, like, it's all you can, like, all the transfer talks can be on him. He's going to be a big one, so it's tough to say. Maybe Morata coming to Serie A, or even Immobile to Milan, you know? Maybe he'll pull, like, a Bonucci. Who knows, right?
And you always hear Ronaldo's unhappy here, unhappy there, just using every team to get a new contract.
I don't know.
I don't believe it when I see it. Every time I see Cristiano unhappy.
And to me, I still don't. Even if a player signs a new contract, they can still be sold that summer. To me,
just like right now, Alonso signed a new 5-year deal. Coutinho also did that. You know, he's at Barcelona. You just do that so you can guarantee a bigger transfer fee.
And I do that, and again, like
you control the. You don't want the players to have power like Alexis Sanchez did.
Yeah.
And he just left on the court.
Mm-hmm. And to me, I always go by the Thiago Silva. Like, I know that we were forced to sell him, but he signed a new 5-year deal and we had to sell him. But what are you going to do? I know. I just hate reminding myself of it, you know?
Players in the World Cup in that time, 45 million pounds. And now players with cigarettes are going for 50. It's actually mad.
I know. But then again, Premier League teams always overpay for certain players, you know?
But that's the problem. It's because every other continent sees Premier League teams make money and they overcharge them. Because you see, Juve's getting Douglas Costa for 35 mil. Guaranteed, any team from England would not get him for less than 50.
I know, it's ridiculous. But
That's just how it works. You guys, Italy's and Spain and stuff, see all the TV deals, and they're like, if you get all that money, then you're gonna have to pay a premium.
And considering too, like Watford didn't even sign; they just signed Adam Messina from Bologna for €5 million, which is nothing. Which I'm surprised. I thought they would have spent a little bit more on him. So.
At first, when I read Messina, I thought I was reading Italian football news. I never heard of this guy in my life.
Yeah, he's been the left back from Bologna. He's 24, really promising player there. So it's an interesting move.
You know what we forgot to say? I saw rumors. Is it true that Barco's going to Monaco?
Sorry, who?
Not Barco, sorry. Barreto, the left back.
Barreca from Cagliari?
From Torino.
Oh, right. Yes, sorry. Oh, my God.
I saw him linked with Monaco for like 12 mil. Did he go or is it?
It's still not official, but I think he is linked with them. Maybe we'll see something in the next little bit. Who knows? All right, guys. That's all for today. Thanks again, Andreas, for joining me in this discussion.
Thanks for having me, Christian.
We're
gonna
for sure. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter, Calcio_Bros. And we'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.
Bye.